While the Western media is discussing the consequences of yesterday's massive missile attack on the territory of Ukraine, fateful events are unfolding in the Zaporizhzhia direction, which will be the beginning of the end of the armed forces of Ukraine. For the third day in a row, pro-Ukrainian Western military experts have been sounding the alarm and calling on the leaders of Western countries to give the Ukrainian army the entire remaining stock of weapons. According to them, if the West refuses to further supply weapons to Kiev, the armed forces of Ukraine will cease to exist by the summer of 2024. Let me remind you that starting on December 27, against the background of the successes of the Russian army in the Donetsk and Bakhmut directions of the front, Russian troops also began to attack the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Zaporizhzhia direction, in the area of the villages of Verbov, Robotino, and Novoprokopavka. Moreover, during these attacks, Pskov paratroopers from the 76th Airborne Division managed to push back the units of the armed forces of Ukraine to a considerable distance. Within 3 days, the Ukrainian armed forces lost all their positions near Robotino and retreated several kilometers. Moreover, Russian troops also managed to capture all strategic heights near the village of Verbov, forcing the armed forces of Ukraine to retreat and finally abandon further attempts to attack this village. According to war correspondents, at the moment, Russian troops have begun cleaning up the liberated territories and are preparing a springboard for an offensive on Robotino. Even the Ukrainian military telegram channels were forced to admit that the armed forces of Ukraine began to retreat near Robotino. According to them, the Ukrainian army lost about 50 soldiers here within 3 days, and the Ukrainian military command hastily began to erect defensive positions south of the city of Orikhiv. All this means that the most powerful and well-armed offensive units of the armed forces of Ukraine, on which the Pentagon and the Kiev regime had high hopes, were completely drained of blood and lost the opportunity for offensive actions. Moreover, even Ukrainian war correspondents confirm the fact that the armed forces of Ukraine have completely stopped offensive actions in the Zaporizhzhia direction. According to them, the Ukrainian army is gradually moving into a blind defense, trying to retain its remaining positions. Ukrainian military expert Konstantin Mashevets, who in my opinion is the most adequate in Ukraine and tries to soberly assess the situation, also recognized the difficult situation of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Zaporizhzhia direction. According to him, within 3 days the Russian troops managed to restore all the lost positions near the Robotino-Verbov area. During these days, the armed forces of Ukraine have lost almost 7 square kilometers of territory. These are the very territories that the Ukrainian army captured during the summer counteroffensive at the cost of tens of thousands of lives of Ukrainian soldiers and officers. At the same time, it is also worth noting the words of the famous Russian journalist and military expert, Yuri Podolyaka. According to him, the Ukrainian army is completely drained of blood and demoralized. A Russian military expert claims that right now in the Zaporizhzhia direction, there is a rehearsal for the future defeat of the armed forces of Ukraine. The fact that the Ukrainian armed forces began to build fortifications in the vicinity of Orikhiv in a panic indicates that in the coming weeks Russian troops will be at the gates of this city. Meanwhile, it became known that on December 29, in the Kherson direction of the front, the Russian multifunctional frontline supersonic fighter bomber Su-34 destroyed the German air defense system, Iris-T. This fact was also confirmed by German journalist and Russophobe, Julian Rock. According to him, the German air defense was 30 kilometers from the front line, and was destroyed by a guided planning bomb of the Fab family. Moreover, data was also confirmed that on the same day, Russian Su-34 fighter bombers destroyed the command headquarters of the Ukrainian army in the Kherson direction. According to preliminary data, about 15 high-ranking officers of the armed forces of Ukraine were killed during this attack, who continued to send Ukrainian soldiers into suicidal attacks on the left bank of the Dnieper. It is reported that the destroyed German Iris-T guarded the command headquarters of the Ukrainian army in the Kherson direction. And judging by the results of the recent attack, this German air defense system failed to cope with its direct duties.